This is the Stockwell Eldridge Show, giving you the real-time information you need to make educated decisions about buying and selling in the world-renowned Twin Cities. Now your hosts and real estate experts, Jason Stockwell and Don Eldridge.
Good morning, Minneapolis, St. Paul. I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results.
Don Eldridge with RE/MAX Results.
And you're listening to the Stockwell Eldridge Show every Sunday, 10 a.m. here on AM 1280, The Patriot. And we have another awesome show for you today with very good-looking guests, I must say, in the studio today. So check us out on YouTube. You can always do that. Just Google Stockwell Eldridge Show, and you can find us on YouTube. But with us today, we have Robin Hartle back. It's been a while since she's been on, but we're happy to have her back. Robin Hartle, welcome.
Thank you. I've been super busy, so it's nice to be back.
Yes, and Robin is going to be sharing her personal story. Our topic today, one of our main topics today, is self-directed IRAs and what that even is. So if you there's a lot of shows prior to us on the air here on Sunday and after us that talk about money, talk about investing, stock market and things like that. And a lot of you listening are people you know at work or your family invest in their retirement, but it's just put into the stock market through a financial planner or through a 401k or a company policy. This is self-directed, meaning you direct it. So we'll get into great detail on that. And Robin is actually doing her first project through her self-directed IRA right now, and it's a great success story. So we also have with us Thomas Jusla, who is new to the show. And welcome, Thomas. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. Thanks for having me today. So
Thomas is, I had the pleasure of meeting Thomas through Dawn a few weeks ago. And Thomas has been great, just blowing my mind so far with some of the stuff that he's doing. So he is with Finance of America, and he'll get into detail on what their company is and what they do, and who they're backed by, more importantly. So Thomas will be sharing information later on. And then after we talk about self-directed IRA, we're going to be talking about 1031 exchanges. So this is going to be a lot of information, folks, that you may not have heard of, or you maybe heard a couple of the terms of, but we're going to go in depth and see if these strategies or some of these plans might be right for you. And the special guest for that is an expert, Jeffrey Peterson, who is the president of CPEC 1031. Hello, Jeffrey, or Jeff.
Hey, it's great to be here. Thank you.
And is it CPEC 1031? Is that right?
Our company is called Commercial Partners Exchange Company, but we go by CPEC because it's just easier to say.
That makes total sense, yes. So we're anxious to hear about that. 1031 exchanges are loads of exchanges. And again, I know a little bit about some of these things, but not a lot. But there are different types of exchanges. 1031 is a very common one that people use or heard of. And everybody seems to think they know, oh, yes, I know exactly what that is. That's easier. That's kind of they've made it sound like it's so simple, but it's not. And we're going to get into talking about that and what the strategies are and what some of the do's and don'ts are for that type of thing. So those are that's what's happening, and we're very excited. We're going to get into a lot of it here shortly. But first, we got to talk about what's happening in the real estate market. Robin and Dawn can share with what's happening in the residential real estate world, and then Thomas is going to share a little bit of what's happening in the mortgage world. Relatively all good, though I must preface that it all is very good.
Are you sure it's really good?
For me, it is, yeah.
Robin, do you want to talk first? Or?
Well, it's been amazing. It's still very much a seller's market out there, but I've been super busy. It seems like everything that hits the market is just it's flying. Things are flying off the market. My buyers are just, everything they're looking at. I had some buyers that came in from New York, and they were looking at homes in the $400,000 range. And we were thinking, well, maybe those won't fly off the market as fast as things in maybe the $200,000 range. Wrong.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Everything that we were booking showings for, we were getting calls before we even hit the book of showing saying, well, I'm sorry, we already have an offer.
Wow.
And it was crazy. And I thought that in that price range, it wouldn't go as fast, but they're still going fast. So it is still a crazy market in that price range, and it may get even crazier as we head into May and then June.
Warmer weather.
Warmer weather. It's just going to get even crazier.
And people are moving out of their apartments.
Yeah.
Leases are getting up. It's seasonal. As a landlord, I like to have my leases renew in warmer weather for the convenience of me, and also for releasing, and also for the convenience of the client or the tenant. And a lot of them are finally getting fed up maybe with the rental increases and seeing how much they're paying too. But that's good news. I heard it too, that 400 up is going very quickly. If it's 700 and up, it's a little slower, and it takes a little bit more, and there's not as many people buying in that range. But Dawn, anything to add?
Yeah, same. We schedule showings, multiple offers. You have to come in over higher. Had a couple situations where the properties aren't appraising because they come in so much higher. One thing that Jason was talking about the other day was, as a seller, then you need to have that buyer commit to that overage that they would pay it out of pocket in case it doesn't appraise, which is a great idea.
Yeah. And that's something that, through experience, and I always tell people this when I sit down with clients or sellers especially, is experience matters. It's so important. And it's not necessarily your age or how many years you've done it, but that's important too. But how many you do matters, because you're in it so much. You see so much more than someone who doesn't do a lot of business doesn't see, or doesn't have the foresight to see, or is too busy doing something else that it's not their primary focus. So that's what as our goal on the show, is to get you people that are in it, in their business, know it, and can explain things in a way that will help you before some of these bad things can happen in a transaction. So
Right. Well, another thing that we had happen is I had buyers that they were in multiple offers. They came in a little over, not exponentially, but the sellers actually went with my buyer's offer because I wrote a really nice letter about the buyers. They were not the highest offer, but the sellers felt emotionally connected to them, and they took my buyers. Now, in that case, the property almost didn't appraise.
wow.
But I went through and I did a ton of due diligence, sent over comps, explained why they were good comps, because the underwriting department at this lender's office was having trouble with the comps. It had appraised, but they didn't like the comps that were sent by the appraiser. Yeah. So I went through and it worked.
So for anybody out there, when you have your real estate people that are friends, or a lot of people are getting into real estate and becoming licensed, and real estate agents are not bashful people. Generally, we're not bashful. So you see us out there, some of them going on vacation, some of them going boating or golfing or doing all these things. We are working. I'll let you know, we are working very diligently, even though we do need a little time sometimes to relax. So it's not all just a gravy train of selling houses. There's a lot going on that we have to do. So Thomas Jusela, Finance of America, what's happening in the mortgage world?
Mortgage world's crazy. I'll touch base on what she had mentioned about properties that are just flying off the shelves, and I think a lot of that's going to really correlate to consumer confidence in today's market. Interest rates are historically low again. I mean, that's something to definitely talk about. Consumer confidence is there, and when interest rates are lower, for example, take an interest rate at 3.75%, purchasing a $300,000 house. If interest rates were 1% higher, you'd be looking at the same cost of that house by about 10% decrease. So the same cost, you'd be buying a house for about $270,000. Stuff is moving. You touch base on working with someone that's really actively doing this. I see this every day, day in and day out. I see the people that I'm pre-approving that are going out there with the agents, and the ones that are not working with the agents that are dedicated, and yourself and your team. I mean, you guys are pretty much tangible 7 days a week, and that's something that really helps move that process along, and that's something that I would also say sets us apart, because you guys can get a hold of us Monday through Sunday from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. for pre-approvals or any of the mortgage questions. But stuff is definitely out there moving. Whether you're a seller, you need to get your house on the market, take advantage of these interest rates. And if you're a buyer, you need to be out there and you need to be active and taking advantage of these interest rates while they're still here. Yep.
And consumer confidence is key. If you just look around, people are buying cars, we're buying a lot of stuff now. We have money, and our confidence is high, and we're getting good deals on the rates on anything that you want to do especially for housing. So, and I read, I do a lot of reading online, on Facebook and on blogs and on what's the other one? LinkedIn. And someone had posted an article about this is probably from an interest rate standpoint, the best time in a long time for the foreseeable future, because everybody's pointing that they're going up, and that's going to decrease your buying power, as Thomas said, and you might not be able to buy as expensive of a house. So all in all, good. Call us. You can call us at 651-400-0773, 651-400-0773. You can go to us on Facebook, YouTube, check out the video, see what we all look like, and the website, tcrealestatehour.com. tcrealestatehour.com. You can get a free home evaluation on there. You'll also find on Facebook contact information. So if you didn't get to write it down for Thomas Jusela, for Jeff Peterson, or Robin Hartle, myself, or Dawn, it's all on there. And we also put a bunch of other cool things that we find that might be helpful for you in the real estate world, or maybe even not even in the real estate world, but some useful information for you. Upcoming event. Robin and I have done this for, this is our third event. Yeah. And it's a remodeling expo at the convention center. So if you're thinking of remodeling your house, or you have projects that you want to do, or you want to do a project before you sell, you name it, there's loads of vendors there, loads of contractors there. If you're like me and you have trouble reaching contractors now and getting calls back.
Well, they're busy. They're busy right now.
But here's what I'll tell you. They're at this event.
Yeah.
And they're actually motivated. So you can actually talk to someone live about your project and probably get bids on them while you're there. Mm-hmm. So you're not trying to scram around and find someone who's busy, and not that these people aren't going to be busy, but they're going to put some time aside for you. We'll be there. It's May 6th through the 8th at the convention center. You can call us or email us or Facebook, anything. We will give you free tickets, so you do not have to buy tickets at the door. We're doing it, and our radio show will be live from there as well on that day on Sunday. The 8th, we'll have a live show. So, Remodeling Expo, May 6th through the 8th at the Convention Center, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Is that Mother's Day weekend?
Mother's Day weekend.
So if you're thinking, what am I going to do for Mother's Day? What gift am I going to take her to the remodeling expo?
Hey, this goes, if you're a husband out there and your wife wants a remodeling job done, here you go. You can go to this event on Sunday, and we'll be there. We'll be back. Talking with Robin Hartle about the self-directed IRA and what is a self-directed IRA and how it works. I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results.
Dawn Eldridge, RE/MAX Results.
And this is the Stockwell Eldridge Show. We'll be back.